What is up, everybody? We continue with Jujutsu Kaisen with, of course, the brand new arc. We finished Hidden Inventory. Well, I finished Hidden Inventory like a couple of months ago. But fantastic arc nonetheless, and a fantastic opener to the second season. Personally, I have just finished rewatching JJK 0 like a few hours ago. Which does, the Hidden Inventory arc and Gojo and Geto's like past absolutely adds more context to JJK 0. Still doesn't answer the fact on how Geto is still here. Gojo quite literally just killed him in 0, so we got some explaining to do. But other than that, I am excited to finally jump back to JJK, to the present, of course, following our main trio. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. Hope you guys enjoy this reaction. It's nice to see them again.
今回は1作目で登場したマッドサイエンティストリヒター博士が待望の再登場するんだぜ。そのグループに一人動物の保護活動をしてる心優しい女の子がいて、その子とミミズ人間が恋に落ちる。
This is so funny. I mean, this is like a mishmash of a bunch of movies, but what the fuck? Nobara does not seem impressed. Yuji's just like me, like, I just want to see movies, man. Todo and Mei? This is where we left off in season 1, right? Honestly, I'm just glad to finally see Todo again. This is reminding me to watch Ping Pong the animation. 東堂葵と虎杖裕二が共に任務へと立ち向かう青い未来が存在しているということ。いや、皆まで言うな。The music? 俺たちは光れ合う。Oh, that is nice use of camera there. まさにDestiny. いや、だから非推薦者が同行するのは推薦者以外の術師だよ。Oh. 虎杖君を推薦したのは私たちだから、彼が同行するのは私たち以外の術師だよ。Damn. Oh. All right, who are you? She's tall. Oh, no. Ooh. Oh. Hold on. Oh, these visuals though. Oh yeah. This is great. これ中学卒業式の時の私です。え、マジ？いや、その時から身長だけ15センチくらい伸びまして。Is that biologically possible? But hey, good for you. え、ゆうこ、それってつまりそういうことね。はい。そういうことです。Holy shit, the amount of change in art style in just a matter of seconds there. Oh. ない。ケンチがランバダを踊ってもない。なんか今胸がもやっとした。不整脈？ Well. 実はこの子がカクカクしかじかで。つまりそういうこと。そういうことよ。I appreciate the lightheartedness of this first episode of the new arc. You know. 背が高い子が好きって言ってたな。Well. Honestly, currently speaking, I am kind of scared for Yuko here. I wonder if he's gonna recognize her. He's gonna recognize her. Calling it right now.
小沢じゃん。
There you go.
奇遇。
Oh, the change in aspect ratio?
別に誰も強いて言うなら小沢。でもさ、あいつ食い方とか字とかいろいろすげえ綺麗なんだよ。
It's not about the outside, it's about the inside. It's about her character, her personality. At least we know that part remains consistent.
私は私が嫌いな人たちと同
Ah,
じ尺度で生きている。
じゃあな。またさ。じゃあね。
this is some lovely direction, by the way.
またな。
Oh, lovely cut there. But yeah, the show trying to make me like her character. Ooh, I don't know, man. After what happened last time?
おお、やべ。映画始まっちゃうじゃん。
Oh man, I love
ほらほらほら。
this relationship between the three of them. Oh, change in tone, change in scenery. It's raining. Time to be serious again. Utahime?
五条から内通者の話は聞いてるわね。一人は学長以上の上層部。
Hmm.
もう一人、その上層部に情報を流して
So your job is to find that person.
それが今回のターゲット。
Yep.
内通者は
メカ丸。ああ、いたいた。
Oh. Mekamaru?
メカ丸？
すまん、ミワ。少し寝る。
Hmm.
この地下にメカ丸本体、ムタ幸吉がいます。
Okay.
あの子が怪しいんじゃなくて、他の誰も怪しくない。消去法でメカ丸なの。
Alright, process of elimination doesn't necessarily mean that it is him. He's just our number one suspect right now.
ここよ。
There he is. He's expecting them as well. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Nice.
忘れられたかと思ったぞ。
そんなヘマはしないさ。
Well, I mean, shit.
私たちに協力し情報を提供する。その対価として真人の無意天変で体を治す。彼には渋谷でも働いてほしかったけど仕方ない。
Nice use of lighting there.
京都校の人間には手を出さない。先に縛りを破ったのは貴様らだろう。
Was this something that was hinted at in the first season? It might have. If that's the case, then I forgot. Whoa. Whoa. Well, there you go. The ability to feel, to walk, and be be human again. Normal human. Not rely on all that machinery. Well, Mahito's definitely having a lot of fun here. Some nice use of camera work as well.
狩りじゃなくて勝負がしたいんだよね。
Okay, okay. Oh, you see how he's laughing? He's having fun.
いいんじゃない。
Don't tell me it's a giant Mac! Yo!
このこそこそ作ってるとはね。引きこもりも伊達じゃないってわけだ。
操縦席。魂のざわ。
That's a good looking mech as well. We're getting a mech fight in JJK.
降りてる。ゲトウだな。俺の勝利条件は五条悟だ。
Okay.
手段でもいい。五条悟と連絡を取り、渋谷の計画を伝える。そして保護してもらう。
Hmm.
出し惜しみはしない。
Oh.
やっかれメカ丸ウルトラキャノン
I'm oh okay, holding on that thought just for a bit. All right, new arc of Jujutsu Kaisen begins. Insert obligatory. Oh, he's not ready for this. He's not ready for this. He thinks he's ready. He's not ready for this. And hearing about the Shibuya incident and all in various different forms of social media. I mean, it's been a long time coming. It's like, all right, I get it. It's a big deal. I don't know what it is. I'm staying away from spoilers as much as possible, but I do know that the Shibuya incident is sort of a big deal, and pushing all of that aside and just focusing on the episode for now, even though I do think the Mahito, Geto, and Mekamaru revelation towards the very end of the episode is the section of the episode that is pushing the narrative forward, I do want to talk about the beginning of the episode where we are just hanging out with our characters, with Yuji, with Nobara, with Fujiguro, and just having that moment with Yuko, this character, this long lost friend of Yuji, who has surprisingly changed in look in a very short span. I thought that was really funny, but good for her. But it is funny, but it is also wholesome. And what I want to emphasize is that I miss this, and I really love this sort of camaraderie, this friendship that the three of them have. This fun, goofy. You can definitely tell that they are close friends. They almost have their own I would say their own inner language, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean, right? Like if you're hanging out with a bunch of friends, like you have your own ways to talk to each other, and that's kind of what I'm getting at with these three characters. And it's fun to see it, but it's also sad knowing that this is going to be short-lived. Knowing JJK, and especially after what we went through with the hidden inventory arc, and we know how serious and how mature JJK can be. This is not going to last long. Like this is the calm before the storm. I mean, it's not even gonna last long considering Mekamaru and Geto and Mahito is gonna have an Evangelion fight. But yeah, I really love the beginning section of this episode. It's really sweet. It's really kind. And it's something that I would say, it's this type of friendship is something that, I don't really get that much in other shonen shows. I mean, it's not like I watch a lot of shonen shows, but some of the ones that I watch, at least the newer ones, the new gens, at least. Though then again, I haven't actually seen much, so I don't know what I'm actually talking about. But it's this almost realistic friendship that JJK portrays that I can absolutely vibe with. That's what I'm trying to say, because I don't really get this vibe in other shows. There's friendships in other shows, and then there is JJK friendship that feels just like a bunch of, how do I describe it? A bunch of goofy friends, a bunch of goofy goobers that at this point in the story is pretty much working in the same wavelength. Like even Megumi, debatably, well, not really debatably, undoubtedly the most mature out of the two of them. He's the cool guy, right? And even he in this episode is already showcasing like, yep, this is who I'm working with. I'm working with Nobara. I'm working with Yuji. Like I understand how he understands how these people, these characters can can be funny and goofy and sometimes over the top at times, but we get along well, and I love that. I just want to emphasize that. Like, I really love the friendship between the three of them. Because this friendship, you know, as fun as it is, like I said, it's about to be challenged soon. And the storm is absolutely coming. Talking a bit about Yuko for a bit, not sure how important she's going to be on the scale of the story, because you don't just introduce a character that has feelings for our main characters and then just push them aside. But honestly, in this specific moment, in this specific case, I kind of want them to be pushed aside so that they can be safe. You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool, you love our main character, sweet. Hold that thought. Now go as far away as possible, because shit's about to go down. We kind of see what happens in the previous arc when we meet a character who is also lovable, and there's a lot of stuff going on with that character, with Riko, and then we see what happens to her, right? So, Yuko, kindly get away from us, please. You know, come back to us once all of this is over, please. Thank you. Because I am kind of scared for her, you know, just a little bit. If they don't show her again in the future, honestly, that is like the biggest relief that I'm ever gonna feel, because that means she's gonna be alive, she's gonna survive, and we don't have to deal with Yuji you know, going berserker mode and just wreaking havoc because one of his friends died again. You remember what happened in the first season? Yeah, we don't want that to happen again. So yeah, that's like my only one concern for one character, and that is pretty much it. Everything else about the episode, especially with the Mechamaru part, exciting. Let's see where things are gonna go, but honestly speaking, I don't think Mechamaru's gonna I don't think he's gonna be all right. He's fighting against our two main antagonists here. Let's be real. Let's be honest here. I don't think he stands a chance. He's riding an Evangelion, so he's riding a mech. Really cool design, by the way. Really cool. I love it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think especially on the fact that the fact that we saw like a glimpse of his affection towards Miwa, that's already a death flag, you know, like, oh, the person that he loves, the person that he cares about the most, he's thinking about her during this moment. Yeah, you know, these are hard death flags that are being waved right here. But we'll see. Maybe he's gonna do some damage to them either way, but I just don't see him escaping this unscathed, you know, like, yeah. The mech design itself, though, really cool, but also I am surprised we're getting a mech fight in JJK, which is, I don't know, it's surprising, but it's also fun because I wasn't really expecting it. But I mean, Mechamaru himself as a character was a character that I was not expecting in season 1. I mean, we already got a talking panda. Now we're getting Iron Man, and now we're getting an Evangelion. Honestly, JJK can do whatever it wants at this point. Like, I'm cool with that. I'm fine. You know, like, this world is a whack. We got curses, and then we got spirits. Now we got giant mechs. Bring it on. Bring it on. But yeah, I think I'm gonna save some of my thoughts on, I guess, later episodes, especially when it comes to like Geto, Mahito, and all of the other characters, all of the villains that were introduced here in this episode. Not that I don't have any thoughts, but I just feel like it's not really an appropriate time to talk about them just yet, because we're practically just continuing where we left off in the previous season, right? So there is that. Oh, speaking of continuing from the previous season, Todo and Mei having that ping pong skirmish there. Really fun, really well animated, well directed, I would say. You know, reminds me to watch Ping Pong the animation. One of these days I will. But yeah, that was a really fun moment. The revelation that Todo could not be with Yuji because he is the one who's recommending it. The rules! Really sad, but yeah, the dawning, I just love that moment when he's just smiling like, oh, I could be with my brother, and then the ball moves and it transitions to Mei saying, oh, well, you recommended him, so you can't really be with him per the rules and such, and then his face just immediately goes, that was great. I love that. I miss these characters a lot, you know, like, it's good to be back. It's good to be back with JJK. Like, watching this episode reminds me a lot on the things that I absolutely love about JJK, and that is the characters. You know, season 1 of JJK, I think I talked about my feelings on it a bit on my reaction to Hidden Inventory, but I like JJK season 1. I do think, personally speaking, the story and the plot elements a bit all over the place and not necessarily like the best thing ever, but still good enough. But the thing that kept me going, the thing that kept me watching, is also the dynamic between all of the characters that I just find so endearing and so lovable. Even if these characters, you could even say that they're one-dimensional, maybe some of them, you know, they don't have enough character development yet, but just seeing the way they act, seeing the way they just interact with one another, that is what made me enjoy season 1 of JJK, and I am just glad that watching this this episode, when we are seeing these characters again, you know, after just witnessing Gojo and Geto in the past, going back to our main characters in the present, great stuff. So, on with the next episode, I suppose. Whoa! Wow! Okay. Alright, let's have a mech fight. It's even acting like an Evangelion. Bro, that's a shot from Eva Unit 1. That is a literal shot from Evangelion. Like, come on. Woo! You know, I'm listening to the soundtrack right now. This does not sound like a JJK soundtrack. This sounds like a mech soundtrack. A mecha soundtrack. I don't know how else to describe it. A tokusatsu soundtrack. Fuck, I really love this opening, actually. Try not to think too much about the visuals, though, because some of them might be spoilers. Some of them might just be visual flair for the opening. Jeez. Four chances, huh? Alright. No. Oh! Ooh. It keeps going. It keeps going. Lovely.
飛ばした左腕が再生している。いや、魂の形をこねくり回して再生したように見せかけているだけだ。
I mean, I'm seeing a bunch of references to other mecha shows already here.
大丈夫。
I mean, this is straight up Evangelion.
この手は。
Especially with the, you know, with the cord in the back. Some of his movesets. I think I saw a Gunbuster reference as well. Woo! Whoa! Whoa! Oh, I love how Mahito keeps changing different animals and that's it keeps going. I love it. Oh shit. Whoa, whoa.
領域展開自閉言論か
Well, our first domain expansion of the season.
はいおしまい
Come on, Mekamaru. Get up. Fight back.
ストックは残り2本。それは平安時代。それは領域から身を守るための
Okay. Okay. Here we go.
弱者の領域。
A domain for the weak.
新影流簡易領域。すべて見てきた。
Oh! Oh, God. I love that he is using this because of Miwa.
領域はあらゆる術式を中和する。領域内ではあの五条悟にですら攻撃は当たる。
Well, and that too.
内側から領域を発生させられたら、真人でも術式関係なくダメージを負う。
Ghetto is sure having fun watching all of this transpire.
ゲト
Now hold on.
ゲトとやれる。
Now hold on, Mekamaru.
みんなに
Oh.
会える。 領域はまだ1本残っている。直にぶち込む。
This final stand. Love the colors here, man. Woo! Jesus. I'm just in awe. Okay, that's just straight up Gurren Lagann. Cuts back to Miwa.
ねえメカ丸、今度お見舞いに行っていい？
Mekamaru's never gonna wake up now, is he?
呪術師って職業柄なのかな。それまではお互い仲良しでもどこか一線を引いてた。仲良くなりすぎるといなく
Oh,
なった時辛いもんね。
look at how nervous she is as she's talking to him.
だからいつか会いに行くからね。
あれも簡易領域か本番前にいいもん見れたんじゃない
呪力や言霊ごと他者に託して問題ない。
Oh,
2018年10月31日
was that Nobara's nail?
ちょうど
I feel like it is.
東急百貨店東横店を中心に
Unless I'm misremembering
半径
him.
およそ400メートルの帳が
Not understanding what that was. Ah, but what a fight though. What a fight. First casualty, I suppose. That's a lot of people. Oh no.
あれだよあれ。
Well, that's the veil. Hit an invisible wall. But yeah. Okay. So it begins.
電波は
立たれています。連絡は帳を
Oh, Megami's there.
我々補助監督の足を使ってください。
ハロウィンの渋谷よ。そこで何かがあったみたいっす。
We got our own separate groups now.
五条悟を連れてこい。
高度な結界術に五条悟を指名したことを。これは交流会を襲撃した連中と同一犯だ。
Alright, this is outside of the veil. We're setting up a lot of battles here.
突っかかんなよ。去年のクリスマスの百鬼夜行と違って。
I like that they are referencing JJK Zero again, because it did just happen like a year ago. In the world of JJK at least.
通れないのはホラーではあるけど、そこまで困ってないよね。そのうち助け来るでしょ。
I'm sure help will come. I don't know about that. I mean, it will, but it's probably gonna be too late. Whoa. Well,
Oh, ごめん。
he's here. And so ends Mekamaru, or I guess Kokichi's fight against Mahito. And what a fight it was, you know. Talking about that just for a bit before we continue on with the rest of the episode, though. I guess that's like the majority of the episode now that I'm thinking about it. The rest of the episode is just setting up whatever is the Shibuya incident. But wow. 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 Once again, wow. That entire fight between Kokichi and Mahito is just it is, I would say that is almost a love letter to the mecha genre, because there's so much Gainax energy. I guess it is mostly a love letter to Gainax now that I'm thinking about it, because like there's so many elements, there's so many references, there's so many homages to Evangelion, Gurren Lagann, Gunbuster, all of the above. It's just great from the design of the mech itself. I mean, even from like some of the shots. I mean, I mentioned it during the reaction, but like some of the shots, especially when the giant mech emerges from the ocean, or I guess the lake, right, and then it's like looking up to the sky, like that is straight up a shot from Evangelion. That is straight up a shot of Eva Unit 1 when it emerges, or when it's like looking up, like it's everywhere. Like that is so Eva coded to me that I'm just like, nope, there it is. That's the pose. That's the Evangelion pose. And so much more references to Eva, you know, like from the design of the mech itself, you know, like very slim, very humanoid. Even the head itself almost resembles an Eva. Even it's not a umbilical cord, but you can see like the giant electrical cord from its head going, you know, reaching out just like an Eva. Even some of the interfaces, you know, like the UI interface inside of the cockpit also reminds me of Eva, from like the I guess the hexagon motif and everything. It's the mech going down the hill. That's just straight up Eva. So there's so much Eva in this episode, and it's just making me smile. I mentioned Gunbuster, which was when he was about to kick Mahito to the ground. You know, when he was like in the air and doing a kick reminiscent of the Inazuma lightning kick, I think is the name, from Gunbuster, and Diebuster as well. Just really good stuff. And then of course, you know, like at the very end when Kokichi is just like, you know, we're getting ready to punch Mahito, and then we just see like the screen just goes completely black and white just for a couple of seconds there as he's about to punch, and he's screaming. Like that's just straight up. Well, I can't really say much because it's kind of a spoiler, but that is just straight up Gurren Lagann. That is just a straight up Gurren Lagann reference. Gurren Lagann movie reference, I would say. Like it's very specific. You know, it's not just Gurren Lagann, it's the Gurren Lagann movie. Which honestly, it's just a straight up love letter to Gainax, and I love it. It's really fun. And the fight itself is just really just awe-inspiring. Like I'm just watching the fight go on, and it just keeps going and going and going, but they just add in so much there's so much raw energy within the animation alone that it's just like really, again, like it's just like I could talk about this like for hours, just gushing over like the animation and everything and just like the references and all, but like overall really fantastic sequence of events. And Mekamaru himself, Kokichi, he's putting up a fair fight against Mahito. Like the fact that Mahito had to pull up a domain expansion, that's already that already goes to show just how how I would say balanced the fight is. If Mahito had to pull that card, he is losing. He is pulling that card because he is losing, right? And even then, he pulls the domain expansion. And then Kokichi also does it again. He's like, nah, fuck your domain expansion. It's so good. I love it. But then of course, I mean, kind of expected that Kokichi, that Mekamaru is, he's not gonna make it. He's gonna be the first casualty, which kind of a shame, because if he had won, obviously he could, tell Gojo about like the coming threat, like the looming danger of, hey, here, these are their plans, you better suit yourself, you better get ready. And obviously he never really got that because the veil happened anyways. Now it's time for the Shibuya incident or whatever it is. But yeah, which, now talking about Miwa just for a bit, like just that moment, that scene of Miwa just sitting right next to the lifeless Mekamaru sleeping, and she's just like, I love the way they're animating her hands, because it's like she's kind of nervous when she's talking about this, like common human acting, if you will. When you're nervous, you're just, doing this with your hands. Not like Mahito, who's like, but it's really sad to see her, just talking to a lifeless corpse. It is what it is, but kind of adds to the gravity of the situation. Like the upcoming threat that is about to happen. Mekamaru is just like the beginning. We're gonna see people die. We're gonna see a lot of characters here going to, to not make it. And we're already seeing like some of these pairings, these groupings of characters already towards the very end. No sign of Yuji, but like all of these characters are, some of them are main characters, so they can, survive potentially. Insert comments in, saying like, oh, he thinks they're gonna be alive. But like, you see the many different characters, and you see the characters who are like the main characters who we have been with, and then you see the side characters that only appeared like twice throughout the entire series, and they're like, they're dead. They're dead. Although we might put a switcheroo, they're gonna be the ones who are alive, and we're gonna pull a bunch of plot twists. No, all of our main characters are gonna die. Like Nobara is gonna die. And Fujiguro is gonna die, and all of these characters are gonna die, which are gonna be like catalysts for our main character Yuji to character development. Because it's not like this is the first time that's, this isn't like, I've seen other shows do this. I mean, I can't really say those shows because that would be a spoiler, but this isn't the first time I'm reading a show. I'm reading a manga or watching a show, and I see a bunch of main characters, and I thought these main characters are gonna survive, but then suddenly halfway through the story, they're all dead, and I'm like, what the fuck? What do you? Huh? So I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. I mean, we're dealing with a new gen shonen here. We gotta be extra edgy. We gotta kill them all. But that is gonna be something that I need to prepare for, because we're gonna see a lot of dead bodies here. We're gonna see a lot of really cool, fantastic moments. We're gonna see a lot of fights, a lot of fights. Can already smell. I mean, the fact that this fight between Mekamaru and Mahito is a precursor to the main event, to the actual title of this arc, if this is the fight that we are starting before the incident even begins, I couldn't even imagine, what's gonna happen next in the future, in the next couple of episodes. I mean, I can kind of have an idea, right? There's like 1 or 2 episodes that people were talking about, like how insane the animation is, too insane to the point where they couldn't even finish it on time during the TV release. But I am watching the Blu-ray, of course. But yeah, really excited, really hyped for the upcoming events of JJK. So yeah, really, really super excited.
こりゃひどい。この下を中心に外と同じ一般秘術師を閉じ込める帳が降りてる。
Ah, okay. 2 veils. The audacity of this man.
理屈はわかるけどさ、
Oh.
俺たちにもできることがあるでしょ。
So who's this?
バックアップとか。
Somebody related to me? To Mei?
姉様にバックアップをさせるなんて。
Brother.
ああ、ういうい。
Oui, oui.
家族ではなく家族という雇用関係でしょ。よくわかっているじゃないか。
Okay.
好きだよ。
Okay.
虎杖君、行き先変更だ。
え？
明治神宮前駅に渋谷と同様の帳が降りた。
How do you see through all of that hair? I love this build-up though. The use of the time codes and everything, reminding me a bit of the Chimera Ant arc, which I am also currently rewatching. Oh! 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 Oh!
貴様こそ初めての言い訳は考えてきたか。
The Shibuya isn't. I mean, these two, they have history, right? We know. They got some unfinished business from season 1. But yeah, the concept of the Shibuya Incident Arc so far, reminding me a bit of the Chimera Ant arc, specifically when they are infiltrating the palace. You're seeing the same events, probably at the same time, but through various different perspectives.
その内側、地下5階のホームを中心に術師
Alright,
を
alright.
入れない帳が降りています。
That prevents sorcerers from entering.
帳の間に改造された人間がいます。
Ah. Oh, that got Yuji's attention. I mean, we know how much Yuji hates that. Especially from season 1 experiences.
姉様は今カラスたちと視覚を共有しています。集中力のいる作業です。静粛に。
別にいいよ、喋っても。
いいって。
Oh.
弱い改造人間をたくさん殺すのと強い呪霊を1体払うの。まあ君の場合、
Yeah.
後者だよね。
Probably the latter. The question is, who is he gonna face against?
継ぎはぎ顔を確認する前にカラスがやられてしまったからね。だが、
Patch
改
face.
造人間がいるということはそういうことなんだろう。
大丈夫だよ、メイさん。俺はもう負けないから。
I won't lose anymore, huh? Well, we'll see about that. Well.
何見てんだよ。
The fact that the dude is still twitching even though it lost its head? Eee. Now, of course, Sukuna is the outside factor here. Well, technically inside factor, but he's the unpredictable part.
真人の事実は良くない。
The nail.
俺は賢いから違いがわかる。
Yeah. Yuji's not having it. Not today.
賢くないやつから死ぬんだ。
あ？バッタの呪いだろ？
Okay, they're taking too long with this. Alright, Yuji can take him out easily, like... Whoa! Some interesting use of the ZG environment there. What is this, a JoJo fight? Nice. How fast is this? Jesus! Overkill.
覚悟はできてるよな。小細工では埋まらない実力差が両者にはある。
帳が上がったね。
うん。
郊外がやられたか。腕のいい術師が来てるね。
Oh, a skilled sorcerer is here. A lot of skilled sorcerers, actually.
すごいね、虎杖君。
何が？
I can't take her seriously when she's drawn like that. Her hair is just covering her entire face in that shot.
こうはいかなかったよ。
姫様からの方より素直に受け取りなさい。
あざっす、光栄です。
How strong is Yuyui if he's the one who's carrying the axe? Oh god. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
あの二人何喋ってんだ？
いや、4人だろ。
The difference in how people see and perceive them. Oh god. Oh god.
彼の前では基本足手まとい。だからそのさらに下の非術師で周囲を語る。
Oh, diabolical trick though, but... Oh god, here we go. Oh, it was just to blind him. It's not gonna hit him though.
術式反転の最低出力は順転のそれの2倍。非術師を巻き込まずに使うのはほぼ不可能だ。青も同様に有効な出力まで上げることは。
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then he has to. I don't think he is going to. Yeah. Look at how calm he is. Gets in the way so that they hit each other. That's smart.
なるほど。というか、呪詛師と訓練だからそうくるか。
Okay.
無料空所はどうする？
無料空
What do we do about the domain indeed?
五条悟本人と彼が触れているものだけだろう。かなりの数の非術師が無料空所と帳の間で圧死する。五条悟は領域を展開しない。
99%. So what about that 1% where he just does it? The innocents are definitely like a major factor here. Gojo is definitely in a pickle because it's going to be hard for him to fight them while also taking care of all of these other people. Oh god.
この程度で僕に勝てると思ってる脳みそに驚いたって言ってんだよ。
Oh, this is a rematch that I've been waiting for. Oh, we have plans on top of plans on top of plans here. All right, we begin. We begin the incident, I suppose. Starting with a grasshopper fight. Gonna be real here. I'm just gonna gloss over the grasshopper fight because I do want to talk about Geto a bit more in this episode because I feel like now is a good time as any to talk about it before the rest of the arc begins. If you haven't heard about like some of my discussions and theories about Geto during my Shibuya not Shibuya incident during my hidden inventory arc reaction, then essentially I'm still thinking about the fact that Geto is supposed to be dead, right? Geto is supposed to be dead by the end of JJK 0. Gojo killed him. That's pretty much well, heavily implied, right? Because in the movie we do hear Gojo, right, which I guess kind of explains the I guess the surgical scar on Geto's head. But at that point, right, because Gojo was talking about, oh, you must have met a bunch of curse users so that you know what I do, you know my strengths and weaknesses especially. Oh, but you think you can best me and whatever. Gojo doesn't really know, right? He doesn't know that Geto is pulling things behind the scenes, right? He probably knows Mahito is the one pulling, the one pulling behind the strings, but he doesn't necessarily know that Geto, right? Again, Geto in quotations, Geto is the one who's doing it, right? So that is going to be an interesting plot detail that I do want this arc to explore more, or I guess future seasons or future arcs, future episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen, because obviously, as far as I know, as far as I remember, we never really see Gojo and Geto interact in season 1, especially here in this arc, right? So that is something that I do want to see be explored more, because it is still the lingering question of how is Geto here, right? I theorize that Geto is probably we're probably dealing with something similar to Sukuna and Yuji, in that there's probably a high grade curse whatever that is possessing Geto's body right now, that is taking control of that body, right? And he's the one who's actually pulling the strings, though it could be something else, right? Geto could also just be alive because somebody used reverse curse technique on him and somehow revive him. Anything can go, right? But as far as I'm concerned, Gojo, or I guess as far as Gojo's concerned, Geto is supposed to be dead, right? He doesn't know that Geto is still alive, right? I just want to talk about that first, before we continue on with the rest of the season, just so that I am pretty much on the same level as all of these other characters in knowing who's alive and who's dead. All right, grasshopper fight. It's cool. Not gonna lie, as cool as that fight is, because like on its own, as a standalone fight, it is pretty cool. You see Yuji fight this creature, and you see like some cool animation work, some cool cinematography here and there. You see the usual, haha, I have a plan and I will use this plan to fight you, and then the opponent goes, I know what you're gonna do, so I'm gonna fight you and counter you with this instead, and whatever, classic anime fight. But compared to the Mechamaru fight that we just got like in the last episode, pales in comparison. Let's be real here. This pales in comparison. This feels like, and I mean this when I say this feels like a filler fight. It's cool to look at, don't get me wrong. We're starting the incident. Obviously we need to ramp up and build anticipation and all, but that grasshopper fight, honestly speaking, could have just been like 2 minutes and then we can just move on. just gonna be real here. Doesn't really add much. And the grasshopper as well, like he I guess her, because it lays eggs. Its entire gimmick is basically, I'm a clever guy. I'm a clever spirit, Oh, this guy is more clever than me. And I'm like, okay, man. Come on. Not a big deal, though. To me, it's not a big deal, but like compared to everything else, this does feel like a change in tone and quality to some extent. Not animation quality, like I said. Animation quality so far has been pretty consistent and it's been pretty solid. Mei and Ui, of course.
interesting duo, that's for sure. It's interesting. Brother, sister, sibling dynamic here. But we'll see where we go with these two characters. But it is kind of funny to me that Ui kind of is the one holding the giant axe. Like, how strong is he? He's a kid. How old is he? He's carrying around this giant axe for his Onesan. You know, like, he's gonna be pretty powerful when he grows up. That's for sure. But beyond that, interesting start to the incident. That's for sure. I will say this. Also, I will say this before we continue on with the next episode. But seeing the whole thing with Gojo and in that space, having a bunch of people be there to deter Gojo from, you know, to prevent Gojo from using extra power so that he couldn't accidentally hurt these people. But then you see, you know, what's the guy's name? I'm forgetting some of these characters' names. I'll look it up before we continue on with the next episode. But when the bad guys are just killing these people and then Gojo's just like standing there, there is a part of me that is feeling, Gojo, you're not gonna do anything. These people are burning to death. Do something. I know you can't do something, but do something. It's a weird situation, but of course Gojo takes off the blindfold, so he's about to do some shit. Chances are he's probably just gonna cause havoc and do whatever it takes to get rid of these evil spirits, these curses. But well, we'll see next episode, because obviously they have a plan, right? As I said, this is an episode where it's revealed that they have plans on top of plans on top of plans. Obviously they want Gojo, right? Not necessarily to kill him, but they just want Gojo, right? So we'll see. I think that's pretty much it. On with the next episode. What do you think of Gojo Satoru?
先生がいなかったら俺今頃死刑だったみたいよ。
これは俺に限った話ではないですか。
正直、私そこまで知らないのよね。
Okay, why are we actually doing this?
最強。
Okay, I don't know about this. We're kind of setting Gojo to fail here. Hey, yo, Will, hold on. Hold on, wait a minute. Gojo, Gojo looks like he was struggling there. But that was a lovely presentation, though. Again, you know, kind of like somebody recording, like, hey, what do you think about Gojo? But it's just the way they're showing that. And, you know, like, narratively speaking, when that happens, should I be scared? Should I be worried about Gojo? I think the show is telling me that I should be worried about Gojo. Because what Hidden Inventory has told us, Gojo is not invincible. And we're setting up the fact that he cannot always use the reverse curse technique every time. Okay. Oh, look at this though. He did. Well, that's terrifying. Now this is a fight. Oh, look at this. Look at the cinematography though. Oh, look at the way he's moving too. Ah. They're showing off again. Hanami and Jogo. Here we go. Oh! The character acting on all three of them? Insane. Oh! You know, it is insane to think that in this situation, I'm kind of scared for them. You know? Because I like these characters, you know, they're fun villains. And Gojo is scaring me. Jesus. Look at that. He doesn't care.
Hanami.
Oh. Oh.
次
Jogo, good luck. I'm rooting for you, buddy. Is it weird that I'm rooting for them when they're fighting against Gojo? Because it's like an unfair fight. They're kind of the underdog when they're fighting against Gojo, so... But look at this, though. What an interesting scene. I love it, though. Just seeing these characters just play a game.
手を組んだのではあるまいな。その条件下であれの1分。もうお前な人間ども、その一生を幾千積み重ねても釣り合わんぞ。
Yep, yep, yep. They are really selling how terrifying Gojo is. Whoa!
このまま人が減り続け、スペースができれば火山頭を捉えられる。
Yeah.
ごめん。全員は助けられない。
Tough call.
絶対払ってやる。
I'm still reeling in the fact that Hanami is just splatter now. They made Hanami a big deal in season 1 to just kill him off immediately here at the start. Whew. That is terrifying. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, the train is not your salvation. Oh no. Oh no. It's gonna be a bloodbath. Show it. Oh god. Well. He's so unserious.
花見に怒られるよ。
花見は死んだ。
マジ?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, there's still a chance that they can somehow bring Hanami back to life. You know, like, there's always a way. But for now, I'm just going to accept the fact that Hanami is dead. Uh-huh.
人間のきしょいところ一つ教えてやるよ。いっぱいいるところ。
Oh god.
赤血操術、白露、超修正。
Oh! Gojo is not playing. Gojo is not playing. But you know, getting rid of the humans here. Yeah, the fewer the people here, the more likely Gojo is gonna go all out, right? Fewer casualties and all. So. There we go, there we go.
無料空所でわしらと人間を皆殺しにし、領域外の人間を救うこと。
Giving Gojo a choice between two evils, his morality being challenged here.
マジか。
領域展開。
He's doing it.
無料空所。
He's doing it. Whoa! Whoa!
0.2 秒は五条悟が勘で設定した。技術師が廃人にならず、空想に残らないであろう無料空所の滞在時間。
Nah, Gojo is on another level. This shot is crazy. 0.2 of a second?
時間にして約半年分の情報が流し込まれ、全員が立ったまま気を失った。
Some excellent use of smear frames throughout this entire sequence, by the way.
地下5階の生き残りは2月後に残らず社会復帰を果たす。そのレベルの無料空所。
It keeps going. It keeps going.
標的は改造人間に絞った。
I'm kind of liking the narrator here. Again, definitely reminding me a bit of Hunter x Hunter. And so we arrive at the beginning of the episode.
今日の呪術師は地下5階に放たれた改造人間およそ1000体を領域解除後299秒で応殺。
Quite an impressive feat, though. Quite impressive. Well, hello.
獄門橋開門。
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go.
久しいね。
You're supposed to be dead.
偽物変身の術式
Trying to think of, like, how could this be?
いや本物
Is it though? Oh. All of the memories. All of the memories.
五条悟の脳内時間で1分だ。
What the huh?
で誰だよお前。
ゲトウスグルだよ。
Are you? Are you?
肉体も呪力もこの目に映る情報はお前をゲトウスグルだと言っている。
But
だが
yes, but
俺の魂がそれを否定してんだよ。
my soul is rejecting that. I love that.
きっしょ。
Oh. Oh. What the f-
脳を入れ替えれば肉体を転々とできるんだ。
Okay, okay, there we go, there we go. Alright, so
君さ、
So whatever it is taking over. Yeah, yeah. Ah. Wow. Gojo not getting rid of the body. Man, the domino effect of that.
忘れたのか？僕に殺される前、その体は誰にボコられた？
Yeah. We haven't seen Yuta in a while.
無条件の術式コピー、底なしの呪力。どちらも 最愛の人の魂を抑留する
Nice of us
で
to
成り立っていたに過ぎない。
get a glimpse of Zero again.
おやすみ、五条悟。
お
聞こえるか、虎杖裕二。
What the?
五条悟が封印された。
What is happening? We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. What just happened there at the very end? Mekamaru? Hello? All right. Here we go. It's happening. Where do we begin? Where do we begin with this discussion? Let's just jump straight into the Geto Gojo situation here, because that's obviously like the high point of the episode, something that the show has been building up to the most, and something that I was also keeping in mind, you know, like Geto in quotations. Well, now we finally got the reveal, we finally got the full confirmation that yeah, this isn't even Geto that we are dealing with here, you know. Like I was at first I was always under the impression, well, not always, but like the more we see of Geto, and especially after JJK 0 and the reveal of, you know, Geto being, you know, unalivened, getting killed by Gojo in that movie, suddenly it's all about, okay, how is he still alive? You know, how does that happen? How does that work? We see how one character, our main character Yuji, we see how he survives many such occasions because there is a literal curse you know, sharing his body. So that was like one of the possibilities for Geto to survive, right? Unfortunately for Geto, Geto is dead. Like he is dead. Like there is no Geto in Geto here. None of that. No, we are dealing with something else. We are dealing with a brain with a mouth, and we have no idea who this is, right? And that's the exciting part, because now that we are getting this reveal, essentially we are getting the other main antagonist, you know, like the other main bad guy, you know, and this is going to change the dynamic of the story a lot, because now that this has been revealed, how is this going to factor in with Sukuna? Because Sukuna has always been like the main antagonist, but the main antagonist who, let's be real here, is acting kind of like an anti-hero. I mean, at least in terms of like the current situation with Yuji, right? Because Yuji is in control of the body. Sukuna can't just, you know, well, I say that, but if Sukuna gets full control of the body, then we have a problem, you know, then we have a problem. But as long as Yuji is in control of his body, and as long as Yuji is in control of Sukuna, that is going to be fine. Although the more fingers he's going to be eating, the stronger Sukuna gets, then we have a problem, you know, then let's talk about the danger of Sukuna. But right now, I don't really feel that danger from Sukuna just yet, especially when in many such occasions, especially in season 1, Sukuna has been, in a way, helping us, the main characters, right? Because Sukuna needs the body to survive, and whatever, you know, the pack and the deal and whatever, you get the gist of it. But with Geto here, and we don't even know his actual name yet, you know, I keep calling him Geto, but obviously he's not really Geto. The body is Geto, but we don't know what's like the actual name of the brain, right? So fake Geto, let's just call him fake Geto for now, because, you know, full confirmation that it's not really Geto. I love that there has been a lot of not just foreshadowing, but also hints on the fact that this may not necessarily be the same person, just from the way they act, you know, especially from like Hidden Inventory and JJK 0. Compare that to the Suguru Geto that we saw in season 1. There is differences in their character, you know, like it's very small in difference, but a difference nonetheless, you know, and that difference, especially in mannerisms as well, you know, and mannerisms, character, and especially the way they talk, you know, because one thing that that I am noticing, especially right now, and especially after we finish watching Hidden Inventory, and I just finished watching JJK Zero like a couple of hours ago, this ghetto, fake ghetto, doesn't really refer humans as monkeys. That is something that I just noticed. That is something that I have realized. He doesn't call them monkeys anymore. Quite a difference in character, right? Quite a difference in perception of rankings, of beings, if you will. So there is that, and I'm sure there's plenty more if I actually rewatch season 1, you know, like from, because I'm gonna be honest, you know, I haven't actually rewatched season 1. So far, not, you know, doesn't really change much of my enjoyment of season 2. Sure, there's gonna be like a couple of details that I'm probably gonna be missing. You know, just let me know if there are details that I missed. But I feel like the show so far has done a pretty decent, in fact, I would say a pretty good job at, you know, not really making much of a big deal in regards to like information from season 1 to season 2. Like and when I mean a big deal, I mean like all the minor micro details from season 1, like all of the macro details, all of the bigger details of like what happens in season 1, which, you know, if we're talking about that, I remember a lot of that. And if we're talking about that, then that's going to be like the parts that we need to remember the most, right? And those parts are the ones that are being brought up in season 2. So I'm glad that at least from a macro level, we're doing just fine. We're doing just fine in terms of like the plot and the narrative of JJK, you know. But I do want to say, speaking of details of Jujutsu Kaisen, because there is a lot of detail, and I'll get back to like the Ghetto and Gojo stuff. But if we're talking specifically about details, Jujutsu Kaisen, and I guess a lot of other shows, you know, shonen shows, battle shonen shows, many such shows, they tend to convey a lot of detail and a lot of not necessarily exposition. I mean exposition is a factor, but a lot of rules and a lot of as I said, micro details to describe a certain scene, because, you know, especially when in a show, especially in a story with so many moving parts and so many abilities, right? And wanting to explain that ability so that the human mind can comprehend on what Gojo did in 0.2 seconds to pretty much do whatever he did, and then for 299 seconds he got rid of all the curses there, apart from like apart from Mahito and I guess maybe Jogo. I don't see Jogo's body, so I guess Jogo's alive. Maybe, who knows? He's a main, you know, he's one of the main antagonists. So, and you know, all of that, and also the fact that, you know, for these people, 3 months have passed, 2 years have passed, and all that stuff. That's a lot of detail, I'm sure. And I think the show did a decent job at like explaining, like, yeah, this is what happens, you know. This is the timing and everything and all that stuff. And then Geto coming in and saying like, yeah, I need 1 minute of him, and then 3 years of memory just flashes before Gojo's eyes, and then and all that stuff. That's cool and all, and I'm sure a lot of people are really, really, you know, into all of that detail and stuff. But, and this is just a me thing, this is just my own personal opinion, that's cool. I don't need to know all of that. And what I mean is, I don't need to know all of that to understand what just happened. You know, I saw all of that. I get it. I think I get it. But do I need to understand what just happened? Not necessarily. All I need to understand is Gojo did a thing. He saved some people. He killed all of the enemies, and then the enemy came in and they won. That is the information that is necessary for the plot, and that is the information that I'm gonna take. All of the extra fluff about like minutes and seconds and milliseconds and all that stuff, and many more, that's just like one example. Like, there's plenty more in JJK where they go into the full micro details of everything. I always find that to be cool, but not necessarily important for me to follow along, because I think the show also does a good job at making people follow along what just happened without knowing like the full detail of it all. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Am I weird? Am I weird of thinking that? I don't know. But that is just to say the show is pretty understandable most of the time. Going back to the Suguru, Geto, and going back to Geto and Gojo. Talking about Gojo now, it is really, I would say, the moment when Gojo turns around and look at Geto, and then you see almost that smile from Gojo, right? Of him saying, "Hey, Geto," and then just memories flushing in of like all of their time together, from hidden inventory up to JJK 0 and all. You feel this bond, this connection that Gojo has with this friend that he lost, and you just kind of feel for the guy, like you feel bad for him. I mean, Gojo explained it perfectly in JJK 0 when he was talking to Yuta, right? And glad that in this episode Yuta was brought back. We'll talk about that as well later, but Gojo telling Yuta that, like referring to Geto as his one and only friend. Like these two are a unit. These two are together. They're bonded. So it's just really, it sucks to see them, separate and go on to these very drastically different paths, especially knowing that by the end of that path, Gojo has to eliminate Geto, right? He has to get rid of him, he has to kill him, and he did. I can't even imagine like what Gojo's like going through and all of that, because I feel like Gojo's like, again, like he smiles a lot, but there's a lot that you can hide from a smile, and even I was talking about like in the previous episode in how a lot of people are kind of dying left, right, and center during that fight, and Gojo is just like standing still. But it's less of Gojo not really caring for the people dying. It's more so that Gojo needs to stay calm and collected in that moment, because that just goes to show how much Gojo is in control of himself. Because if Gojo lets his feelings of these people get to him a lot, emotionally speaking, then who knows what Gojo can do? I mean, we know what Gojo can do, but like, how much can Gojo restrain himself? Especially knowing that if he does go all out, then other people are also gonna get hurt. So it goes to show like how much he is in control of his emotions. And the moment when he finds Geto in this episode, that's when his emotions kind of, break free just a bit. Like he was smiling, right? He saw his friend. For a split second, he thinks that his friend is alive, but then of course, incredible line delivery afterwards. My soul refused to acknowledge it. My soul refused to believe it. Like my eyes are telling me you're Suguru Geto. Everything that I am looking at, analyzing, is Suguru Geto, but I just refuse to believe it. That is such a cool line, but it also goes to show like the heartbreak within Gojo. This is just a Gojo appreciation discussion for now. Like, which is also indicative. It goes to show like how much Gojo as a character has been developed and has grown as a character, as a three-dimensional character, because in season 1, Gojo kind of fits more of an archetype of a character, you know, like this is the cool character, this is the cool sensei that is blindfolded and he's overpowered and he knows everything and he's so cool, he's so collected, you know, he knows everything, you know, like everything is fine with Gojo around, you know, like nothing's gonna hurt him, literally speaking, nothing's gonna hurt him, no matter how much people try, they're not going to get him, you know, like he's so cool. And then hidden inventory and this arc happens and then it's like, oh, we're going in deep. We are giving him depth. And I love it. I love it. It's something that it's something that I want. It's something that that I think the story needs, especially for some of these characters, because some of these characters, as fun as they are, I mean, I already mentioned, you know, like I love these characters. These characters are fun to watch. They're fun to be with, and their dynamic is all fun and games and dandy and all that stuff. But I do think that a criticism that I would have for season 1 is that some of these characters, as fun as they are, they don't have a lot of depth to them. They're archetypes, you know, like they're fun, they're engaging, and I think that is important. And at the very least, they are engaging enough for me to like them. But as a character piece, as a character study, I would say, you know, like that is something that some of these characters are definitely lacking, you know, especially some of the side characters and such, you know. So season 2, especially with Gojo, which I think out of all the characters, Gojo definitely needs this level of care and attention for his character writing. So I'm just saying that I am glad that I am actually seeing this, because it is making my enjoyment for season 2 more and more, because right now I can confidently say that I am kind of enjoying season 2 a lot more than season 1, you know, like knowing all of these characters, and raising the stakes, and also seeing like the character drama between them. Really, really good stuff. What's happening to Gojo right now? I don't know. The beginning of the episode kind of shows, and it is kind of, it made me worried for a bit, because, you know, we're setting up this invincible character, and then we're showing off, oh, what do you think of Gojo Satoru? Oh, Gojo's like, you know, this and that, but most importantly, he's strong. Nobody gets to Gojo. You don't say nobody gets to this character in that specific tone, and then see the character escape unharmed. No, that's not how the narrative works. You know, that's not how storytelling works. You know, like it is almost a trope, if you will, when a character says, "Oh, that character, yeah, he's the GOAT." We're waving flags here, you know, not necessarily death flags, but we're waving flags that the thing that the character is known for, yeah, we're gonna be challenging that. And this episode definitely challenges that. The fact that Gojo was already feeling tired just fighting how many enemies? 2,000, thousands of hundreds of them, you know, and doing it while also activating his domain expansion, while also keeping all of the people, all of the bystanders in check, knowing for a fact that these people are just gonna be standing still for like how many, we don't know how long they're gonna be doing it, but we do know that for them months have passed, you know, months of information, you know, years, in fact, 2 years, some of them even. So yeah, there's a lot. But what is happening with Gojo right now? I don't know. He is entrapped. He is sealed. Not dead, but that's basically what they were after, right? So now it's a matter of, okay, we need to get to Gojo. We need to find him. We need to save him. And now that Gojo is out of the picture, I think, because that's kind of what they are implying, right? Gojo's currently now out of the picture for the Shibuya arc, you know. Our strongest card is not amongst us. Now stakes are high. Because before this, if somebody's in danger, you know, Gojo can come in, step in, and save the day. Not anymore. Not anymore. Gojo is out of the picture. You know who else is also out of the picture? Yuta. Where is he? He's enjoying life. I mean, we've heard Yuta being mentioned in season 1. Of course, by the end of JJK 0, we kind of saw where Yuta is by the end of that during the after credit scenes and all. But where is he now? And is Yuta going to make an appearance in season 2? Who knows? But the fact that he is mentioned again strongly implies that he's probably going to be coming in and saving the day, because that would be hype. You know, that would be hype. But yeah. Speaking of hype, animation, stellar. What was it about grasshoppers? What were we talking about? Grasshoppers? I don't remember that. Great action sequence in this episode. That fight was, once again, you know, like this. Now this is a JJK fight. You know, Hanami dead. Hanami. Gojo just splatter Hanami into obliteration. I do love that moment. I do love that scene, especially when Jogo was like, Gojo, look at me. I'm about to kill these people. But the fact that Gojo does not give a fuck, Gojo not giving a damn and still focusing on Hanami, that terrifies Jogo to the point where, yeah, Jogo's not hurting the people anymore. Like, he's lowering his technique. He's like, oh, you're really gonna kill Hana. Oh. And one thing that I do love about JJK season 2, especially in this specific episode, is how terrifying they made Gojo. To the point where I'm kind of rooting for the villains. It's like, oh, you're fighting against the strongest character in the universe. Good luck. I'm kind of rooting for you, you know, like, put up a fight at least. So I think it's kind of refreshing, to say the least, because if I'm like cheering for Gojo, I feel like it's like, how do I describe it? Like, if I'm cheering for Gojo, it's like I'm cheering for something that is 100% going to win no matter what. You know, like, there is no odds at stake here. You know, like, why even bet? You know. So I'm kind of rooting. I'm kind of cheering for our bad guys here. You know, like, because look, I know you guys aren't gonna make it. I know you guys are probably gonna get obliterated, but put up a fight. You know. Put up a fight against Gojo, you know, like, and I will have my respect for that. But, whew, Hanami, rest in peace? ? Because we can always bring Hanami back, but it's like, but can you do? Is this? Are we really doing this? Hanami is actually dead. Like, we built Hanami so much in season 1, and Hanami's just gone at the start of this arc. I mean, I don't really care that. Well, I care a bit, but you know, I want to see more of Hanami. But you know, if Hanami is dead, then well, I guess I have to accept that for now. You know, but yeah, lots of deaths. Speaking of deaths, Mekamaru, by the end of the episode, suddenly just saying, hey, Yuji, Gojo sealed. So the thing about that is I feel like Mekamaru is 100% dead. You know, he's gone, he's dead. But that doesn't mean that he could not save a recorded message and then beam that message to Yuji, which I feel like that is what is happening right now. You know, like a last ditch effort from him to, like, okay, if I die, like, if you're listening to this message, then I'm dead, sort of a deal. And I feel like that is exactly what is going on. So far, this Shibuya incident, I love how we are starting this arc. And we're going to be spending the rest of the season in this arc, of course, but I love that we are starting this arc by getting rid of Gojo very early on. You know, like as a main contender. You know, like Gojo can still come back. You know, by the end of the season. You know, or whatever. But I love that we are shoving Gojo away for now, so that the stakes can be higher than it could ever be. All of these characters has the potential to die. You know, no doubt about it. So I'm holding on to my butts. I think that's pretty much it for my review for this episode, and I guess this batch of episodes for now. Quite a start to this arc. Really enjoying it. It's fantastic. It's great. Let me know in the comments, you know, if there's anything I miss, if you want to further discuss about things. No spoilers, obviously. Duh. JJK fans and spoilers. Ooh. But yeah, just don't talk about spoilers, please. Just talk things in the confines of these episodes. I gladly appreciate it. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. I will see you all next time. Take care, everybody. Have a nice day. Peace.